Yo, what's good YouTube? I'm back with another video. What's good Facebook? I'm back with another video. So Nick Fuentes, how you pronounce his last fucking name? He's in an interview, and it's a pretty long one. I'm not watching the full interview. It's about 28 minutes of this interview, so it's probably be about 35-minute video. But this is about Nick Fuentes talking about in Hunter Biden clash on Israel, anti-Semitism.
That Israel
So you already know how this is gonna go. Let's play.
Has this influence over our government.
He then went out and he has now since then done nothing but blame Joe Biden for every single one of his problems.
I think that people on the left, they may be guilty of maybe caring more about Palestine than they do about America.
And by the way, what I would consider a radical right. The Daily Wire, to me, is a radical right.
I don't think they're even reactionary. I don't think they're that conservative at all.
I mean, call me crazy, but I didn't exactly anticipate this crossover, that Nick Fuentes would sit down with Hunter Biden and have what seems to be in some areas a colloquial conversation about where the culture and political system is. It wasn't exactly...
Like, I don't even know who Hunter Biden is, but I watched some clips of this interview. It seems like he's a leftist.
On my bingo card, but it sure was an interesting discussion. The two sit down and clash in a lot of ways on Israel, on anti-Semitism, what it really is, on Trump and Trump's legacy, and whether, hilariously enough, the Daily Wire is a radical right-wing organization. So let's get right into it. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hype it if you can.
So a different question that I have that kind of weaves everything together. How do you think like October 7th and the subsequent like pro-Palestine movement and the online worlds it created led to a growing audience on the right?
October 7th in particular? Well, I think it highlighted and brought to the forefront how captured the right wing is by Israel, which is very unique. I think the Democrats and the Republicans are pro-Israel, but the Republican Party has this inextricable institutional connection with the Israel lobby, with this Likud government in particular. And I think people just started to see the hypocrisies. The hypocrisy was brought to the forefront, which is America first, but not with Israel. No new wars except for with Iran.
Under Trump, we will have no more wars. No more wars. No more wars. They said he will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars. Tonight, Iran's Navy is gone.
You know, we're going to be racist and all these things, but don't you dare be anti-Semitic. Don't even, think about it.
I see good things about Hitler also. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler.
So I think that on the right wing, it made it unignorable that there's this ideology.
Like, it's crazy that Kanye was like that. It's crazy, but it's not. You see how he switched up. He needs money, or whatever situation may be. So he just switched up. Did a public apology, said what he said about the Jewish people. People was like, damn, they got you, bro. All right, man, go ahead and get your bag, bro. We already know what's going on. Go ahead and get your bag, bro. And but yeah, bro, it's crazy the shit Israel be doing. Like, it's crazy.
Institutional capture.
I just feel like a lot of straightforward, like just anti-Semite influence.
You know what Nick said? He was like, bro, he said it's okay to be hateful and racist, but you can't be anti-Semitic. And that's the crazy thing about it, because I'm in my friend group on the Discord, and this is about like almost a year ago, and I would say shit about when Israel, before all this shit, like before this current shit really start popping and people really start talking about Israel, like the leftists and shit. I was already prone to it. I was like, bro, these Jewish niggas are fucking tripping, dog. I mean, you not know what's going on? You got family who look at me, oh, you speaking negative about the Jews, and my friends be like, oh, you're anti-Semitic. I'm like, bro, no, I'm not. I'm like, let me get this straight. Let me get this right. If I call myself a hungry watermelon eating nigger, you laugh. It's hilarious, right? It's funny. But if I say, hey, Jew, take a shower, I'm anti-Semitic. Or hey, Jew, don't grab that coin, I'm anti-Semitic. That's worse than racism. That's me saying, "Hey Jew, grab that coin." It's worse than me saying, "Damn, I hope that black man swing from a rope on a tree." People say that, don't get canceled. People say that, no tags, no interference by X, no interference by YouTube, no nothing. But let me say something about the Jew. or Israel person, or Israel, literally Israel. Let me say something about Israel. I don't want to say Jew. Israel. Let me say something about Israel. That's when they start canceling shit. They start blocking people out. It's crazy how they control our government, or what we see and say.
Influencers were taking advantage of the post-October 7th discourse to push other ideas, broader ideas about Jewish people as a whole.
Come out and say it. Like, I think that Jews are causing a disproportionate amount of problems in the United States.
Well, I mean, I think it's hard to ignore some of those other conversations. I know that it's
like they are, even down to like certain like groups, and I feel like genuinely that's probably why black people and white people really just can't get along, because it's like white people blame us for some odd reason, blame us for what's going on, all the crime rate and the killing and murdering, right? But like most of black crime is gang violence. It's literally gang violence. It's one-on-one targeting. It's gang versus gang. But either way, then a lot of black people blame white people for what's going on in our culture and why we're doing what we're doing and how they play an effect. It's true both ways. Like, yeah, like, okay, yeah, black people, we kill a lot. Yes, our murder rate is high. We're killing each other a lot. Yeah, we do it. Like, we talk about it in our communities, we talk about it in our homes, we put it in movies. So when white people come and be like, "Oh, why are you worried about white people killing black people? We should worry about blacks killing black." We do. We literally do. There's a lot of movements, there's a lot of groups, there's a lot of like sponsorships, there's a lot of like schools that talk about black on black crime. There's a lot of even black houses that talk about black on black crime. We talk about it all the time, even movies. We talk about it all the time. We always talk about it. We stay talking about it. We talk about it so much you don't even notice it. But yeah. So, but what I mean by this situation is when it comes to the Jewish, they control a lot of the like high seating shit, like high seating shit. So they put shit in the media. They put shit into the systems, into the hood and or a ghetto or what you want to call it. They put shit in there. Then they give it to the white person as a puppet. You go do it and you take fault. We're going to sit back and make the money. You take fault though. We give you a cut, you take fault, we sit back and we just, oh my gosh, no. But we're the ones really doing it. Yeah.
It's now become maybe in vogue to say that the Israel issue is very narrow. It's just Netanyahu. It's just the Likudniks. It's just the Israel lobby. But, you know, what would you say about someone like Larry Ellison? I mean, somebody like that, I don't think fits neatly into this, let's say, problem of Netanyahu.
As far as installing Barry Weiss and whatnot.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Because this is somebody who's not Israeli. He's not even a religious Jew, but he's ethnically Jewish and has this deep affinity for the state of Israel.
You know, I feel a deep emotional connection to the state of Israel and the Israeli people.
And is using and mobilizing his power and resources and connections to benefit Israel in the private sector. And so if you...
Well, he's Jewish. Like, for example, like I'm not with, like, I don't support Black Lives Matter. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, I understand it. But, like, I don't really support it. And the reason why I don't support it because of the shit they been doing. Like, I support standing up for black people and our culture for sure. But I don't support the rioting. I don't support the fighting. I don't support the thief and using the Black Lives Matter symbol as a way to gain money or to rob people, like, or to break shit. I don't like that. So, but I'm gonna still defend my people though. Like, I'm gonna still defend my people, even down to Africans and Haitians. Like, yeah, we might not be the same culture, but like, we're black, bro, and they were black. Like, it doesn't matter where you're from. In America, you're black, and people don't get that shit. If you look on like a job tip, like on a job application, or like a test, or like a school test, or like a survey, if you read it, it starts with, are you Hispanic or non-Hispanic? If you say I never say Hispanic. If you say non-Hispanic, it gives you a list of races, what you can pick from. I think it says like white, Pacific, then it says like Asian, it says fucking other, it says a bunch of shit. But when it comes to Africans and black people, Haitians and all that, it only say black or African American. Nothing else. So in the eyes of the United States, If your skin tone is dark, it does not matter where you're from. Literally does not matter. If your skin tone is dark and you're not, or you're not African American, you're black. Then when people say, well, isn't black African American? Technically, yeah. But on that paper, on them papers, or by the law, was in the court eyes, or was in the system eyes, is black or African American. Black means everything not African American. So you're not born in America, then you're just black. You're just dark. You're just a black nigga. You're black. You're black. I'm not black. I'm Haitian. I don't give a fuck. You in America. I don't give a fuck. You black. I don't care where you from. Or I'm from Ghana. Who cares? I'm from Africa. Who cares? I don't care. Do you care? I don't care. You're black. You a nigga. Okay, you still in the courtroom. Yup. You still getting handcuffed. Yup. You still getting called a nigger. Yup. You still getting treated like a black person. Yup. Well, I'm not American, black, I'm African. Nigga, they gonna treat you even worse. They gonna deport your ass. You better stay. I don't know why the Haitians and African niggas be tripping in America. Y'all better be happy for African Americans.
Were to say, what's a law that we could pass to prevent that kind of influence, what would it look like? He's an American citizen. He can't buy a media company and hire Barry Weiss to run CBS News, and yet we recognize that's a big problem.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to unpack here. First of all, obviously, both the Republican and Democratic leadership is captured by the Israel lobby, and Nick brings up a lot of really good points regarding Jewish organization on behalf of Israel. We'd have to be idiotic to ignore that. We'd have to be missing the forest for the trees if we ignored that. But at the same time, to go into racialism and blame an entire 15 million person populace, the Jewish people, for all of Israel's atrocities, it doesn't actually pin the blame on where it should be blamed, because there's lots of Christian and atheists that organize within the United States on behalf of the same.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There's a lot of Christians, a lot of satanic people, a lot of atheists. Bro, nigga, religion fake. Religion's fake. Religion literally doesn't exist. It's fake. It's control. That's why they all work together. That's why money wins everything. Like it doesn't matter if you're atheist, Muslim, Jewish, Christian, nigga. When money start talking, and them really high power ranking areas, oh, they work together. Oh yeah, the money's there. Okay, cool. My Muslim group of 20 people, 200,000 people I don't know. I don't care about. Ain't my family. I don't give a fuck. They gonna go to war. I just need my money. And what it is, they all higher ranked people all together laughing. But in reality, religion is a control. Even down to atheism. But Clarence, how is atheism a control? Like you don't believe in no God. You don't believe in anything. Yeah, that's control. You believe nothing exists. You believe it. You can't prove nothing exists. So, you can't prove God don't exist. You can't prove he does exist. It's a belief. Same shit.
Lobby, all the Christian Zionists that pour in all this propaganda, all this money to support Israel's wars and genocides as well. So I do agree with Nick that it is too narrow when you just say the Likudniks are the problem, Netanyahu's the problem, the current government of Israel is the problem, when you have all these Netanyahu cutouts in the United States like Larry Ellison, like Ronald Lauder, like Sean McGuire, like Joe Lonsdale, like Peter Thiel, orchestrating a surveillance state, a propaganda apparatus to direct support for Israel's wars. But if you go too broad and blame all of Judaism for that, then you'd have to implicate some of the best critics of Israel in doing so. And I think that's wrong. To say that it's the Jews in general or to racialize.
Yeah, that's my fault. Not my fault. I'm not going to say it's the Jews in general, but the Jewish population for sure had a major role in what's going on. Like, I can't say all Jews. Same way I don't say all white people. I just say white people. The pale community. But I don't mean all of them. Same thing with Jews. I don't mean all of them. Because it's not all of them. But it's enough to have an impact. Like a major impact.
This issue completely, then you'd have to blame really good critics of Israel like Glenn Greenwald and Dave Smith and Max Blumenthal and Aaron Mate and Katie Halper and all sorts of these other great critics of Israel, Norman Finkelstein, that have done a lot of amazing work to expose the atrocities and expose the madness as well.
I feel the conflation of like anti-Zionism and like Holocaust denial played into the hands of the Israeli propaganda apparatus, because then they can say, hey, look, these people that oppose what we're doing in Palestine also don't think the Holocaust happened. It's a big jump in the public perception.
It was almost to me as if that was your intent. To lose any legitimacy about any argument as it relates to Israel and the Likud government is to say those edgelording things or whatever.
Jews are money changers, bullshit artists, psychopaths, charlatans, grifters, manipulators.
I don't know anybody that can hear you after you say that, including myself. It delegitimizes everything, because I don't think that you... a little bit of more compassion.
Let's try to stay a little. I don't want to do any character attacks on Nick.
I'm not attacking his character. I'm not attacking. I promise you. I'm
no,
not.
But as far as compassion, I more just mean straightforward. Do you feel like the rise in anti-Semitic online influencers post October 7th has given Israel more ammunition to work with in terms of casting everyone who opposes what they're doing as just like a rabid Jew hater?
In some cases, yeah, in some cases, sure. But I also think that's overstated, because I think that, look, let's just be honest. I do believe the political left wants to make the Israel issue very narrow. And they want to say that the issue is this genocide in Palestine. And on some level, they think that the Israeli government is racist.
You f***ing baying pig. You f***ing bloodthirsty, violent pig dog.
And that's the problem. And I think that ignores that there is a broader conversation, and it does have to do with the Holocaust, and it does have to do with Jews as such, and Jewish nationalism and Jewish identity. So to try to shoehorn it in and say, well, if anybody goes further than this very narrow critique of Israel, well, they're actually helping Israel, I don't agree with that. I think we have to unpack the whole conversation.
Well,
yeah, a lot to unpack here as well. I mean, this is a pretty legitimate viewpoint, if you ask me. To conflate criticism of Israel with anti-Semitism is wrong as a general statement, but let's just say the Israel lobby benefits from that kind of propaganda, that they can smear anyone with critiques of Israel as a Holocaust denier, an actual Jew hater, an anti-Semite, a racist, etc. But that's becoming less and less powerful. So on one hand, indeed, that does seem to stain the credibility of someone that is an articulate critic of Israel if they adopt all these other things that would lose them credibility in the court of public opinion. But yet, in terms of creating an audience, if you're accusing Nick Fuentes of that, he's built a giant audience on that. He has a huge Rumble following, big shows. His Twitter account is off the charts. So at some point, yeah, you would lose credibility at some subsection of the populace, but gain it with others. That's something that a lot of people don't want to let out, even though that seems to be true, whether you like it or not. And the fact is, the people who have really lost credibility are the ones, in comparison to Nick, if you ask me, that actually smear every critic of Israel as a blood libeler or a anti-Semite like Ben Shapiro, like Mark Levin, people who have shows that are losing trajectory, losing ground, losing metrics, where they buy views, and they have kind of a disproportionate persuasive power over government power, but no one really watches them in comparison to before. Ben Shapiro's a little bit different, but his ratings are on the decline. So people that they smear as being blood libelous and anti-Semites, they are rising in terms of public visibility and what people actually want to watch. I mean, they'll smear anyone from Tucker Carlson to Candace Owens to Dave Smith. They'll implicate Jews and anti-Semitism in this. So in one case, yeah, I do think you lose credibility, and I point that out. I try to argue on the merits of this being a multifaceted single-issue coalition among Christians and atheists and Buddhists and Jews that are supporting Israel above the American people. It is really a broad coalition that's doing that. It's not narrowed down to a particular ethnicity and religion.
Do you care a lot about Palestinians?
Not more than I care about anybody else.
So I guess that would be why they would be like, okay, you're just taking advantage of this discourse.
I don't think it's taking advantage. I think that we can sympathize with the Palestinians while also realizing that, look, I'm an American. And so it's a tragedy what's happening in Palestine, but there's tragedies happening all over the world. My problem is that Israel has this influence over our government.
I'm a newcomer to politics, but not to backing the Jewish state.
And we're paying for the genocide, and we're furnishing them with the weapons to commit the genocide. And by the way, America is going to be held liable for this genocide.
Yeah, it's our fault. It's our fault. Clarence, how is it our fault? They're the one bombing. We're supplying them. We're giving it to them. It's our fault. We're killing them. So I understand when a lot of them still now, but back in the day when they was like, down with America. In my head, I'm like, damn, what did we do? You mad because we won a war. You started. But now as I'm older, and I'm actually looking into history and shit, I'm like, bro, nah, hell nah. I understand why y'all mad at us. I get it. Then it comes to, and then you know what really pushed me to be American? Like, I was never anti-American. Never was. But I wasn't as American as I am now. I was just a normal ass nigga. I just live here. But what made me really become American was when I'm like, bro, do y'all not know what's really going on? The Israel shit, our government being controlled, people hate us if we're not even like this. I'm like, I started watching TV shows. I don't know. I just woke the fuck up. I just woke up. Like, I started watching TV shows, bro. I started watching movies. I started seeing how people really look at Americans. Bro, they look at us like we're war-hungry monsters, bro. Like, they look at us like complete villains. And we are. So it's crazy. Because it don't have to be this way. It don't have to. And like, even their disagreements with stuff in the Middle East, we have relations with other Muslim countries. We have good relations with them. Say Saudi Arabia's one. We have really good relations with them. They're Muslim countries. So why can't we have good relations with other ones? Like Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, all of that. Come to find out, it's our cousin. It's not even our cousin. That's the UK. UK our cousin. It's our sister. Our sister, Israel. They're causing all the problems. It's them. We're supplying them. They're bombing. They're killing. They're wiping out Gaza, Palestinians. They're killing them. Just cause. Take their land, expand. You're trying to make a whole country for them. They're trying to make a whole massive ass country just for them. That's what they're doing. They bomb the beach, clean it up, put hotels on them. Crazy, right?
Morally, but also politically and diplomatically and otherwise. But I think that people on the left, they may be guilty of maybe caring more about Palestine than they do about America.
Nick, but the left didn't cancel you. The right canceled you first. The right canceled you first, and Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire, and those were the people that canceled. They may have utilized the tools of the left, or what you call the left, to be able to do that. But it was the right that canceled you. And by the way, what I would consider a radical right. The Daily Wire, to me, is a radical right.
I don't think they're even reactionary. I don't think they're that conservative at all. Ben Shapiro, I mean, he's not like he's in favor of mass migration.
In 2016, they were alt-right.
No, they were not.
Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire were to the right of Mitt Romney.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's
My sweet.
Hey, I just got into politics, really, so I don't know much about that.
Summer Child, Daily Wire is a radical right-wing organization. No, the Daily Wire is the establishment Zionist shill base of the American right completely. And yeah, if you're going to say they're radical right in the context of endorsing mass killings for their vision, yes, they are.
Okay, so the Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro, and he's a rightist. He's a MAGA supporter. He's a rightist. But he defends Israel heavy. Okay.
But then every neoliberal organization under the sun would be the radical left. And I don't think Joe Biden or Hunter Biden would admit that. So yeah, this is just evidence that Hunter Biden has no idea what's out there. To conceptualize the Daily Wire as the radical right would be like Sean Hannity saying that Chuck Schumer is the radical left, which I have no doubt that he does and has done. And every leftist watching this can laugh about that parallel in the same way here. So this is absurd, of course, for many reasons. But in terms of who canceled Nick, yeah, a lot of right-wingers were involved in canceling Nick, trying to smear his reputation, deplatform him, etc. But so was the ADL, so was the SPLC, not exactly right-wing organizations. And I'm sorry, I'm still laughing at Daily Wire being alt-right. It's just evidence that Hunter Biden has no idea what's out there. He doesn't watch right-wing programming. But in terms of, endorsing mass murder machine on behalf of Israel, they would be radical right in terms of their atrocities, but that's not what he's kind of talking about here. I'm sorry, it's just too laughable.
I mean, and that's
they
what
weren't
I'm
Mormon
saying.
conservatives.
Yeah, my point was, that's who you were canceled by.
I was also canceled by the left.
No, I know. They came along. They came along because some of the more egregious things that you said is edgelording, they came along. And whether you call it canceling or saying, like, what the fuck? This is what I call it. What the fuck? like, what the fuck? And so, like, I don't find it funny. And just like you're able to say, well, I just think it's funny, I'm able to say, I don't find it fucking funny. I didn't find it funny then. I don't find it funny now. I didn't find it funny that some of the things that, you said about me. But I'm willing to sit here and listen to you because I want to get to this. And this is my whole point. What about fucking Donald Trump?
Yeah, we can get to that. Yeah.
How did you get, of all the people in the world, but you could look at and say he doesn't believe anything.
So for context for the viewer, Donald Trump is currently the sitting president of the U.S. For our audience abroad. The war with Iran was supposed to be over. Now we're back in business, baby. Khomeini had a pretty sick funeral, if you saw the video. So you guys don't like Trump? You used to like him.
I did.
You've always hated him. He's tried to destroy your life.
Yeah.
You guys were cool. You guys hung out once at Mar-a-Lago with Kanye. You've never hung out with Trump, right? Would you want to?
No. Do I want to? Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Look, man, I would, can we get him? Can we get him in the motel room?
So I want you to imagine.
Let's get him in the
I want you to imagine he's in the motel with us.
Yeah.
That's Trump. What do you want to ask him?
Oh, put me on the spot. I don't want to ask Donald Trump anything because I know, and I think you would agree with me, is that Donald Trump isn't going to give me an authentic answer. Donald Trump never gives an authentic answer. He gives what people refer to as being authentic, but it's
like, man, I still support Trump over Kamala anytime. But like, bro, yeah, Trump tripping, man. He tripping, bro. At the end of the day, he's a businessman. He's a businessman first.
It's not authentic, it's audacious. It's like the example that I give that is the best metaphor for this is that he says he's 6'3", weighs 225 pounds. And everybody laughs because that's a little bit like edgelording, right? Everybody knows that he is maybe 6 feet and weighs maybe 300. And 285?
He's a big guy. He's a pretty big guy.
Yeah, big guy. But by virtue of every picture ever taken of anyone that's 6'3", he's not 6'3".
Okay, I can't get over this. The one thing you want to ask Trump, the one thing that would set your prerogatives in order about what you want in government, in culture, etc., and it comes down to Trump lying about his height. I'm sorry, I just can't with establishment liberals like Hunter Biden. It's prioritizing this to talk about Trump and trying to denigrate him, or the ballroom, for instance, in as an alternative to pointing out and lambasting maybe the genocide in Gaza, maybe the war of choice in Iran, maybe spending the United States into oblivion, maybe overseeing an untenable, corrupt deep state that covers up for a child sex trafficking ring that, hey, may have implicated the most powerful people in general. Could have touched on any of that, keeping a proxy war going against Russia, which has caused over 1 million casualties so far, and he chooses Trump edgelording about his height. This is really where the liberal establishment is, and as long as they're constrained to prioritizing this when asked about the one thing he wanted to ask Trump. This is where the American liberal establishment is going. Not saying that they won't win in the midterms, but by prioritizing this, I'm sorry, it's just too ridiculous.
Okay? Yeah, I know you are.
Thank you.
You're 6'2.5", maybe. That's maybe. But my point is that the reason I don't have a question for him is because I'm absolutely certain that he is not going to give me an authentic answer. Look, he came into the Oval Office and the transition this time. And he told my dad that he thought that he did an amazing job. He did an amazing job with the economy. He did an amazing job that with NATO, he did an amazing job, and that he got a raw deal from his side, and anything he could do, particularly for Hunter. Hunter got screwed. Whatever I could do, you let me know. Bullshit. He then went out, and he has now since then done nothing but blame Joe Biden for every single one of his problems.
11 months ago, I inherited a mess. Joe Biden handed us over a country that was in very serious trouble. Biden gave us a horrible economy. And I really mean this. I think the good parts are the Trump economy and the bad parts are the Biden economy.
He mentioned my dad's name or my family's name 6 times a day in the first 100 days of this administration. 6 times a day. He does it maybe 4 times a day now because he has no answers. All he has is a finger to point.
All right, this is just rich. And yeah, Trump obviously does that. Every American president blames their predecessor to some point. Trump does it to the extreme, but it's just rich. Coming from Hunter Biden, whose father did the same exact thing, blaming many of his blunders, many of his absurd decisions and catastrophic errors on Trump himself. For instance, in his first press conference, Joe Biden blasted Trump for dismantling the immigration system and cutting off humane pathways to citizenship. That was in his first press conference in office. He blamed Trump for supposedly initiating a coup, an insurrection, feeding into that absurd narrative on January 6th, saying that Trump unleashed the big lie, an unarmed insurrection as he wants you to believe it, and that was his fault, and that is led to the loss of stability in the United States government in general. He's trashed Trump for setting up the Afghanistan withdrawal in a way that was disastrous when it was he who left billions of dollars of weaponry for the Taliban to take back after 20 years of a war in which the Taliban was replaced with the Taliban. So Joe Biden did this exact same thing too. Not saying 2 wrongs make a right, they don't, but it's absurd to finger point at Trump when Biden did the exact same things when he was coherent enough to talk, which let's just say was a minority of the time frame that he was in office.
And that's all he does. My point is, I don't know what to ask him, you know. Why are you such a dick?
What does your dad think about the war?
What? I'm not going to get into what my dad thinks about the war. Is it really, because I don't want to get into, I don't put words in my dad's mouth, just like I wouldn't ask you what your dad thinks about the war, but your dad wasn't the president of the United States, which is a little bit different.
I don't even know if you know what's going on. It's Eagles fan.
Look, all I can say is this, is that every single Israeli prime minister since at least Jimmy Carter was president, has walked into the Oval Office or picked up the phone and called the president and said, we have to attack Iran. And every single one of them has said no. And they may not all have had the same exact reason, but one of the reasons they did is because they knew what the consequences would be as it relates to the lifeblood of the economy, is petroleum in the Straits of Hormuz. Every single one of them knew that. And every single one of them knew that there is no way, unless you send in ground forces, to end with certainty the nuclear program that the Iranians have supposedly been building. Every single one of them knew that the existing Ayatollah, the Ayatollah at that time, had put out a fatwa, an edict saying that they would never turn their nuclear technology into a bomb.
Okay, so a lot of things on this one. Yeah, that is true. Other presidents haven't launched this war against Iran, but they've been the catalyst for setting the stage for it, as well as Trump. Trump shredded the JCPOA, which took off the table the prospect of war for a while, but all of them maintained the sanctions regime. Joe Biden had 4 years to negotiate with the Iranians to shut the door on the window of opportunity for Trump to collaborate with Netanyahu to launch this war as well. They weren't exactly doing things to set the normalization right after Trump, and they had 4 years to do that. And they gave us other pro-Israel first wars. They yielded to the Israel lobby in the wars in Syria under Obama, a regime change operation that ultimately led to the ascension of an al-Qaeda head chopper, al-Shara, who founded al-Qaeda's actual affiliate in Syria. It was called al-Nusra. The regime change operation in Libya, the continued efforts to bomb Somalia, the continued efforts to starve out the beleaguered civilians of Yemen in a blockade that's lasted over 10 years, and that civil war with the Saudis reignited, with the Yemenis attached in some ways to the Iranian regime, something that the Israel...
Like, that shit's so awful, bro. Listen to all the shit we're doing. That shit's so awful, bro. I turn myself up. That shit awful, bro. Look, like, yeah, I turn myself up. Like, look into all the shit we're doing. Like, all the shit, that's like... Bro, that's not cool. We're starving people out? Just for regime change? Just for them to go to a civil war? But y'all watch anime, y'all know how shit be. That shit's crazy.
Lobby doesn't like whatsoever. Other presidents and Democrats yielded to the Israel lobby in other ways. Again, this is not to justify Trump's actions. You guys know me. I think Trump is a war criminal who essentially should hang after a trial, of course, when it comes to his war crimes in Iran. But to like make it seem like Democratic presidents weren't yielding to the Israel lobby just because of this one example, to me, is preposterous.
The supreme leader of Iran issued fatwa. Having nuclear weapons is forbidden, is haram, which means never we can have nuclear weapons.
It was a religious edict as strong as if the Pope had released an encyclical. But what did he do? He kills the Ayatollah. We get a son that now has a far more radical and far greater ties to the IRGC. And what do we have? The Straits of Hormuz are still closed. He said that they're brilliant people. I find that that's Donald Trump on everything. He said he'd end the war in Ukraine on day one.
That is a war that's dying to be settled. I will get it settled before I even become president.
And I didn't hear anybody on the right and say, that's just bullshit. It's just bullshit. He said that he would build a wall. I don't believe in building a wall. But
duh. I don't know why people believe the wall shit. When he was like, yeah, we're gonna build a wall and we're gonna have Mexico pay for it. I was like, bro. I was like, bro, y'all really believe in this nigga? Y'all really think Mexico is gonna pay for this shit? Like, dead ass. Like, real shit. I'm like, y'all really believe this nigga, bro? That like y'all believe that? It was crazy. It was crazy to me, bro. Like, y'all niggas wild.
Everybody said that's bullshit.
All right, so again, this is evidence that Hunter Biden just does not know anything about the American right, anything about the dissident right at the very least. A lot of people on the American right said that that was BS, that he wouldn't end the war day one. And if he's going to point this out, what is Hunter Biden's position on the Ukraine war? Because I'm pretty sure he's long been in support of it. I'm pretty sure that the firm he used to represent on the board of, Burisma, benefited from it. I have never seen any evidence to believe he's against it, but he brings this up as a slight against Trump, which it is a slight against Trump. In isolation, this is exactly right, but what's his position on it? Should it be to end that war? I'm not so sure that's what Hunter Biden thinks, and the American right has been extremely critical of Trump for not ending that war, but ending Republican opposition to that war. So again, more evidence that he doesn't watch programming from the American dissident right whatsoever. This is a hot topic, not in the political establishment, of course, who's tied at the hip to JP Morgan and Raytheon and Lockheed Martin, but it is to the dissident right. Now, on the other things, I think he's exactly right. This war in Iran has been a disaster in so many ways. It's led to so many catastrophes. The decapitation strike that Trump launched against the Ayatollah did not work. It led, instead of the protesters rallying to take the reins of power in the state, to a rally around the flag effect, where patriotic fervor in Iran is arguably at an all-time height, maybe as much as it was in the culmination of the Iranian Revolution in 1979. So that is where we're at right now. Trump bit the hook of the bait thrown out to him by David Barnea, the chief of Mossad, and Netanyahu, and it is to the United States' detriment. It's unleashed an energy crisis. He's correct about all those things. But for him to use that against Trump, he didn't end the war. Again, I would like to hear Hunter Biden's position. Is he for ending that war? Is he for walking away? Is he for dismantling NATO? Is he for pulling out of NATO? Is he for dropping sanctions on Russia? I'd love.
See, I'm not like it's iffy, bro. Like, I'm not for pulling out of NATO at all. I'm not for it, but I'm down if we do it. Because reality, bro, we pay for everything. We do everything. The reason why Europe, you have a lot of free shit and like healthcare and shit. You got like a lot of like money invested in other stuff because we protect you. Why you think the United States have so many military bases? We got eyes everywhere. Like, we got eyes everywhere. So it's like, and a lot of the stuff in NATO, we fund. Like, we spend like triple the amount in military budget. We spend so much money. So think about all the money we give to other countries, and we just keep that shit. If we just keep and spend it on our own shit, nigga, bro, why don't we have a good relationship with Iran? That's what I'm not understanding. I'm like, bro, what? If I were president, I'll be cool with Iran. I'm like, bro, we cool, we good. Like, we straight, bro. Like, nigga, give me oil. Like, bro, give me oil. Give me shit. I take sanctions off. Give me oil. What? Like, what? You know what being said? Then with that being said, it's like, bro, it's good trade, like straight trade. You get what you get, I get what I get. But we can't have a relationship like that because we're fighting them against fucking with Israel. Israel got us fighting them. It's crazy. But all right, y'all, man, nighttime. So good night.